Hi, welcome to Yoke's YouTube channel. I'm Liz Matthew. I'm the regulated Canadian immigration consultant, and nice to have you all here. So let's look at Bill C-12. That is something that has been talked about lately, what it's all about, what is being considered in that bill, and if it comes out and if it's implemented, how is it going to affect immigration? Let's look at that. So, what the Bill C-12 mainly, when this was introduced in the Parliament for the first reading, was October 8th, 2025. And what are the key changes to this bill is in terms of expanded ministerial powers. So, the cabinet and the ministers, they could instantly suspend or cancel immigration programs and in the public interest and without any prior notice or pre publication. So, that is one of the key changes that this bill would contribute. And also, more interviews, biometric checks, and document verifications, especially for those applying from abroad. So that is one of the other key points that this bill could bring about. And also, the government could collectively suspend visas or permits during security or health emergencies. So, any emergencies or anything comes about in the country, government has the right to suspend the visas. And also, in terms of refugee restrictions, that could also happen if this bill is passed. Say, like claims made more than 1 year after entry or irregularly through the US border may become ineligible. So, that is something that could affect with this bill being passed. And also, information sharing with this bill, IRCC can now share applicant data across agencies like the CBSA, the CRA, ESDC, and increasing background checks and compliance reviews. So basically, what has been happening now is that the various departments, they were not linked. So this could bring more transparency between the departments and organizations, which makes more background checks to be taking place. And border officers, they gain expanded inspection rights, including exit controls and export checks also with this bill, and also stricter source of fund check under anti-money laundering rules that could also take place with the passing of this bill. And what this means for applicants. Basically, something that has been already taking place right now is delays. As more verifications and more cross-agency reviews happening, definitely there could be more delays with the IRCC's processing times, and also streams like PNP or HNC, humanitarian and compassionate ground programs, they could be paused overnight, like all of a sudden they could do that. And discrepancies between IRCC, CRA, and CBSE records will be easier to spot. As I just mentioned, they would be sharing data among the organizations, which makes it more transparent and they could catch things more easily. And also for financial proofs and employer documentation, there could be tighter scrutiny as well. So these are some of the things that how this could affect an applicant if Bill C-12 is being passed. And also there is an other side to this as well in regards to the privacy concerns if this bill could be passed. So for example, it might breach the Section 7 of the Charter if applications are terminated without any kind of hearing. And also, expanded data sharing could deal with privacy rights. Section 8 of the Charter could be affected right there. And also, refugee restrictions could impact gender based protection cases and so on. So, these are some things that it could passing of this bill could negatively affect like privacy concerns and legal concerns as well. That is something that we need to wait for. And so, what applicants should do is submit complete and well documented applications with no missing forms or evidences, and to keep the receipts, timestamps, and proof of submission, and inform clients about wait times, or that is something that wait times needs to be considered if C-12 is being passed. And also, the consent for data sharing is also a huge concern if this bill is being passed. And also, the official program suspension through the Canada Gazette also could happen. So these are things that needs to be watched out for if this bill is being passed. And what we can take away from this bill C-12, it will represent a shift towards security first immigration. So they would do more of a tightened scrutiny on all documents, all kind of applications, so especially the temporary resident applications, which was not going through huge background checks, that will be going through as well with the passing of the new bill. And the best strategy for all this is stay informed, be proactive, and keep your files very clean and to the point. So the officer that's looking at your application has no loophole to go through it. So do you think these changes are fair? And would it cause any restriction? Comment in the comment box, and we are happy to hear from you what your suggestions are and what are the topics you'd like to hear from us. And thank you all for tuning in. See you all in the next video.